I have no idea how to wear these things.
Hi, guys! Hi, everyone!
Hello, everybody!
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Morgan, and I am a 6th grade math and science teacher, and I also love all things Disney, and I have multiple guests today. This is the most we've ever had on the show. I'm so excited. So to start us off, we have, right, am I pointing that right? Correctly? Yeah, here. We have right here our Paradise Falls, Brittany and Jeff. And then in the, I don't even know, in the corner down there, we have Loren from Castle.
Hello.
And then trying to figure out how to wear what ears is Ajanaclair.
I have no idea how to put this thing on.
I think part of it goes under your hair, I think.
Oh my god. All right. So,
Good save, nice save, Morgan.
Hi. And if you are returning, welcome back. We don't normally have that, but okay. We are going to be talking about monsters at work today, and it is actually the finale. Oh, I'm trying to okay.
Thank you.
It is actually the finale episode. So, and we don't know if we're getting a season 2 or not. What do you guys think? Do you think we're getting a season 2?
I hope so. It's such a good show.
Yeah.
I would say let's see the numbers on Disney Plus. Let's see how it performed, and then you'll know if you're getting a season 2 or not.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I just wish they would have said something by now, but I feel like they really did Monsters. I've said this before, but I feel like they really did it a disservice by starting it in the middle of Loki and then having What If come out on the same exact day as it when it's already halfway through. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I really hope so. And at the end of the episode, I'm kind of jumping all the way to the end, but at the end of the episode, they said, has anyone heard anything about a season 2? So I wonder if that was kind of like a thing to management, like, hey, we need to know what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried to, I told you this earlier, but I tried to press my friend who's a supervisor on the show. But he said that they hadn't heard anything. So I know.
So odd.
Hi, Zoelles.
Hi, Zoelle.
Hey, Zoelle.
You make me smile all the time.
Your mic's off, Ajanaclair.
Yeah.
She has a little bit of a cold. What did you say? They didn't hear you because mommy had the mic off. What did you say?
I said I had a cold.
You did not say that.
Yes, I did.
She said, I'm happy to see you again.
Aww.
Aww. So, what did you think of Monsters at Work? Did you like it?
Yes, but then like an evil one came in and that scared me. It really scared me, and I jumped away.
You're so full of it. You haven't even seen the show.
This is why I love
Joelle.
Joelle.
Over what we talked about last week, we kind of talked about Monsters merchandise, and I do have to say at World of Disney today when I went, there was a lot more Monsters, at least Monsters University, Monsters Inc. stuff that seemed to be coming out. There was a new shirt, a new bag. So maybe they're finally getting the Monsters at Work merchandise down the pike here, because I know Jeff sent me a picture of some of the toys, and I just want a little Val neck plushie. I feel like Zoelle would love Val if she watched the show.
I'm pretty sure Target has the exclusives to the merch for that show. That's why I haven't seen any in Walmart. I haven't seen any in Walgreens, even just shopping around Box Lunch. I haven't seen anything there, so I'm pretty sure it's only Target that has that merch. They probably have
I saw a Val toy, a Val something. Where did I see a Val?
Yeah.
They had a whole like they had, from what Jeff sent me a picture of, they had a whole like toy set like of all the myth characters, and then they had Tyler by himself.
And also,
No. We're not doing it.
But yeah, Connor, what did you think of the show?
it was awesome.
You watched the whole thing? Aw, how did you like the ending?
It was great.
It was
Are you
great.
gonna elaborate? I mean,
You're being very vague here.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? All right, well, let's go ahead and get talking about the show. So this episode opens up with kind of Tyler's kind of like accepted from the last episode. He's kind of accepted that he's going to be a mifter, and he's kind of given up on his dream of being a jokester. And it opens with him and Val discussing that he threw out all of his jokester stuff. Did you guys actually believe him when he said that?
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, that's
did.
tell yourself when you feel like you're not. You want something, but it's not happening. So you start to tell yourself that you don't want it so that you can make that blow a little easier, especially after been told, like, you're just not funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually believed him. I thought he really did throw it out because I thought he really like was crushed and like was trying to move on. So maybe that was like his next step in moving on. But I wasn't surprised he didn't, but I was kind of surprised that I was both surprised and not surprised. I don't know.
It's like when I get mad at my favorite football team, I'll throw the jersey out in like the trash or something, but that trash bag's never going out. Eventually I'm just going to pull it out of the trash, but
Right. It's in the good trash. It's not in the trash with like the food particles. It's in the trash with like the paper.
Yeah. It's that
I
one
didn't
that
take it
you
outside
throw
to
in the
burn it
back of
just
the
yet.
closet.
Yeah. But so then what happens is we finally get to find out what Miss Flick thinks of Tyler, and like she apparently did some other research thing, and it turns out Tyler is actually funny.
Mhm.
Shocker.
Because of donuts.
And so he becomes a jokester because they need one more person to fill a slot on the last floor. So what did you guys think of when he finally became a jokester?
I mean, it was like that slapstick physical comedy. It wasn't like he was actually funny. He just had an accident and crashed, and the result was something that was funny. So I don't know. Like, I was just like, just let it go. You're a mifter. Just accept your lot in life. Be a mifter.
So did you guys think he was actually gonna leave now that he's given this opportunity? Did you guys think he was gonna leave Mift?
I thought it was going to be a difficult decision, which, it was for him. It was a difficult decision. But I think that he had his team behind him, and which they did. And I thought that was really nice.
I like that they encouraged him
Yeah.
to go to be a jokester and not stay down in Mift.
Yeah, I was really getting annoyed at how upset Fritz was. I was like, Fritz, this is what he's wanted. Like, stop being selfish and wanting to keep him there. Like, be happy for him. And I think Val also felt the same way. She was kind of like, hey, like be happy for him. This is his moment. This is what he's wanted. And I think it took Fritz seeing his jokester stuff to finally be like, oh, wait, like, this is something he actually wants. He never actually wanted to be in Mift.
I don't feel like he was being selfish, though. I feel like he was like, it's hard to let go. Like, when you feel like he was a scarer, right? When he came in. So he really didn't have a place. He wasn't a mifter. He wasn't a jokester. He was a scarer. And scarers they didn't belong anywhere at Monsters, Inc. anymore. And I felt like, Fritz really kind of took him under his wing, and it's just his personality. So that was just really hard for him to let go. So honestly, like, I don't feel like it was a selfish thing. It was just he had to go through his own process. It's kind of like a parent when your kid is like going off
Yeah.
to college, getting married or something. Like, you don't want them to go, but of course you want them to go.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's hard to let go, and it's hard to, and you have to grieve. You have to allow yourself to feel sad and feel that loss, because if you don't allow yourself to go through the grieving process of, because it is a loss, like you're not losing your kid forever, but you're losing your baby that was at home to this new life situation. You have to go through that process in order to come out on the other side and be able to let them go. So I think that's what Fritz was doing. I don't know that he was being selfish. I think he had to go through his own kind of grieving process in order to like be able to see Tyler on the other side.
Yeah, I think I was more like, I felt more of that when he was like crying and it kind of made me think like he was trying to make Tyler feel bad so Tyler would stay. And that's where I was like, no. Like, stop doing that. I don't like that. Like, stop that. But hi, Amberlina. If you haven't watched the show, you have to go watch the show. It is so good, especially the last episode. Like,
watch it now. We'll wait.
Yeah, go watch it right now. We'll stay here.
Yeah, we'll stay here. We'll wait.
But
at least it's a short season to binge. At least it's not like hour-long episodes.
Yeah, that is true. It's only technically 5 hours long, so
you can binge it.
Yeah, but so Tyler does end up having a difficult decision, and what I forgot to say was that Monsters Inc. is kind of put under a time crunch too in this episode. Mike and Sully, Roz kind of comes in and is like, "Hey, like you better reach 1 million gigawatts by the end of the day, otherwise you're getting shut down, and we're going back to scare power at another place." And I found that really interesting that we always knew there were other places in Monstropolis that like made the energy, but that some places are still using scream energy. Like I was a little taken back by that. I was like, oh, okay.
That reminded me of like a lot of people who use like either like an electric car or like a gasoline car. Obviously the way of the future is going towards more the electric side, but you still have some of those people who will always be gung ho. I need to have my my big V8 Hemi truck like I have that needs to run on diesel or gasoline. So.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like
it's the truth. It's like some people are set in their ways with certain things and don't want to change.
Yeah.
Like Android users and iPhone users.
That's real life right there. I will never switch to iPhone ever.
We're iPhone for life.
But I feel like the conflict was so big in this episode, it almost made it feel like they're not going to do a season 2 because of the nature of the conflict. There was such a big conflict, such a big celebration. It was just like, it was the kind of episode that you see at the end of a series. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. Like, there's no, because usually if there's going to be a season 2, there's some kind of a cliffhanger. It's just like everything was just kind of.
It came full circle. I really feel like it came full circle.
I'm not going to say it came full circle for me, but we'll get there. We will get there. But basically, so as the episode goes on, Tyler does struggle with this decision a lot. He does think that maybe he should just say a mifter, that he's not funny, because he was raised to be a scarer. And what did you guys think of the scene between him and Sully sitting out on the bench?
I thought it was very sweet, and I thought it was a nice sequence that just told him that it's okay to be scared of doing something new. And I just thought it was a nice little fatherly thing. I almost wish that it was Fritz who had that conversation with him, because I think that
Don't take away my silly moment.
Morgan's still mad at Fritz.
I am.
Just because Fritz has kind of been his father figure through the whole thing.
But I don't think
And,
Fritz had the same conflict that Sully had, because
yeah,
Sully's kind of
true.
in the same boat. Sully's not funny.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
he's the CEO, but he's not a jokester. He's not trying to be a jokester. And I don't
Yeah.
think he could be. Like if there wasn't a position for him as like management, I don't know that there would be a place for him here.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he
it was a
needed to
very
tell the story about Boo.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very impactful, that part when he was telling the story about Boo, when he's like,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't like the kind of person that I was being a scarer. Like I didn't like the emotional weight like of that it took upon when Boo saw him in his full ferocious form. Like it was that was a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so you guys know how much I love me, my Sully. But I died when he was on that. I was in tears, like full on tears during this part, because I thought it was just it was like what I wanted from Sully the entire season. And it finally happened. And I felt like it was just so beautiful, because here's his, I feel like Tyler looked up to Sully throughout his entire childhood. And here's his idol telling him, like, you did something that I've never been able to do. And like that's good. Like, you're gonna do great, and I'm gonna be right here beside you the whole time. And I think it was also very important that he told him the reason why they switched to laugh energy, because I feel like not a lot of people like really realize in the Monsters Inc. world, like we realize, but like in the Monsters Inc. world, since they don't know the whole story of what happened that night, I feel like they just, him telling Tyler just gives him that buy-in, like, oh, this is why we've switched. This is the better way. Blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I love that moment. That was probably my favorite part in the whole episode. I gotta say, what was your guys' favorite parts?
My favorite part was him just talking about Boo.
Yeah.
Like that, I think that was just my favorite part. And then like Mike and Sully saying, congratulations, you're a jokester, we'll see you tomorrow. Like, you know, it was kind of like just that positive moment. I think those two parts were my favorite.
I actually got a kick out of the scene where Mike was talking about the person who's like being serious, and then like the person who's just like what did he call him? Like when he was like basically talking about himself and Sully, and trying to say Sully was like the goof off and he was like the serious guy, and everything he described was himself, and at the end he's like, why didn't you stop it?
Yeah,
I actually love that scene. Like that was like the funniest thing for me, because I saw what was happening as it was happening, and it was just like, really, Mike, you just gonna keep talking.
That was
yeah,
funny.
I like that scene too. I forgot that even happened in this episode.
And I like the part where we haven't really gotten to this part yet, but like at the end where you know, he becomes the jokester, and then, you know, he gets his door assistant person, and it turns out to be
Val, yeah. I think that was my favorite part, was when Val said that he was going to be his assistant. Yeah, and yeah. Exactly.
Who's the monster in the maintenance department with all the eyes? Don't know his name. The one that's always mean to.
The one who always wants to be the supervisor.
Duncan.
Oh, Connor's like, Duncan.
Connor from the background. Duncan. So I have to admit, probably another very emotional scene for me was when Duncan is telling something good about Tyler. Like, even though in his own, like, he's like, oh, even though you're a stupid adversary, like he's like trying to put on this front that he really doesn't care about about Tyler, but you know, deep down in his own way, he actually cares about him. And I'm like, so he's not just like your stereotypical kind of like bad person. Like he puts on a front with a lot of things, but deep down he's actually a caring monster. And I thought that was pretty well done.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about that scene, because that is what I was going to bring up next, is that Tyler decides he doesn't decide. He's kind of brought down back to Myth and said, and they say they have one more thing for him, and it's like this big going away party, and they give him David's cake from the last or a few episodes ago, which I thought was very interesting. I really want to know why they have so much stuff of David's still. But I thought that this scene where they each take a letter of his name. First of all, I didn't realize they spelled Tyler with an O. Didn't realize that the whole series until today.
Pause. This one, he goes, Taylor. I said, no, Tyler. He goes, no, it's Taylor. I said, no, that's Tyler.
I'm like, I thought his name was
He's
Tyler.
like,
Why is it
Taylor?
Taylor?
I know. I was like so thrown off. I was like, oh. And then I looked at in the description, and it is an O, and I was like, what the heck? I was like, who spells Tyler like that? But I guess some people. Whatever.
I knew it because I pre-ordered the pop.
Wait, there's a pop?
Yeah, there's a pop of Tyler and Val.
We had this conversation last week.
Oh,
That's what I saw. I saw a Val Funko. I knew it was some kind of Val merch I saw. And I was like, I thought
yes,
said it was a merch. It was a Val Funko that I saw.
Yeah. I
yeah,
pre-ordered them.
I didn't pre-order any of them or order any of them. And I didn't order any of the 50th pin or the 20th pins either. I've had a lot of regrets the past few.
I think Funko's missing an opportunity. They really need to make a 10-inch Sully. Like, I mean, he's huge. If they made a 10-inch Sully, glow in the dark or black light or something, oh man, that. Come on.
I think I would die. I think I would die. And if he was flocked.
I mean, they made a 10-inch
Cheshire
Cat. Why wouldn't they do a Sully?
Yeah.
Come on, Funko, get on it. Like, you could have easily done that for the 20th.
Yeah. That was the Funko I saw because I was ordering the Pocahontas Funko, and I was looking up to see if they had any Monsters Funkos because I wanted one of Boo, and then I saw like the big pop pins, but they're not available yet. So I clicked to notify me when they become available. Where did you pre-order it?
I think I got it from Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, it was either Amazon or Target. I can't remember now.
Because I was on the Funko.com website.
There were a few months back, not a few months, like a few weeks back, you could pre-order the Funko Pop giant pins too. And Jeff sent them to me, and I was like, I don't know. And then I like waited, and now the pre-order's over, and now I just have to wait. It's fine. It's fine. But I was just like, no, I'm moving. I can't do it. And now I regret it. But that's okay. So anyway, what did you guys what was going through your mind during that scene? Did you think Tyler was actually like gonna leave after they went around and said like a nice thing about him each? Because I was like, this is it. He's not going. Like, he's not going after this.
He's not going to be a jokester?
I didn't think he was going to be a jokester after that.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. I thought he was just gonna like call it quits and be like, nope, I'm staying at MIFT, and like live the rest of his days at MIFT.
Yeah, I thought it was going to end in the cliffhanger that we talked about, where it's like he has a choice.
Yeah. But I was like looking at the time. I was like, there's still like half the episode left. I was like, what is going on?
They had a lot in this last episode.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
but it seems short too, which is weird.
Yeah, and I think Jeff said it last week too, that like they always do this. Disney Plus keeps doing this. They leave all these loose ends and they pack it into the one episode, and then it's like
they did that with all the Marvel shows. I would say probably Loki was probably the best well done season finale. But I mean, they crammed a lot into Falcon and Winter Soldier, and even WandaVision. There was a lot to take in that last episode too. It's like, guys, like you have a 10-episode, an 8-episode season. Let's do it in 9. Part of it in 9, the rest in 10, or part in 7, then the rest in 8. But I don't know.
Yeah, I was just like, I kind of feel like episode 9 was so silly compared to this, because this easily could have just came right after episode 8 and we could have just called it a day. Like
I think they're doing that a lot too, because they know that kids are watching these shows. And yeah, I mean, kids are going to pay attention to a season, but I mean, how, Connor's not watching like, Game of Thrones or like, Lost or something. So I think when these kids are watching these episodes, they almost have to start every single episode like it's the first episode and kind of have an ending to it too, because a lot of kids are, they're not going to, some of them aren't going to watch it all the way through. Like Connor, like we'll watch episode 8 and then we'll bounce back to like 5, and he's not going to, oh, this is a whole season, I got to watch from 1 to 10. So I think that's what they're getting at too with a lot of these episodes for the kids.
Yeah. And I did think that like in the middle, I wondered if it was ever going to follow a plot line, because it did like kind of every single episode, like to watch episode 3, you didn't necessarily need to watch episode 2 or 1. To watch episode like 5, you didn't need to watch 4 or 3. You could just jump back in right there and been fine. And so other than like the main plot line of him trying to be a jokester, like I feel like you didn't really necessarily need too much from the first episode, really, because they just, and it almost makes me wish that as much content as was in this last episode, I kind of wish all the episodes were like that. Are you guys like laughing at it?
No, I'm sorry. I was watching what was going on in the Ajanaclairs feed. And she
so I'm home alone, and so I don't have a sitter, and so right now, like the stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So she comes in here and I'm like, I hear this water running, and I'm like, what is happening? She's like, I'm washing my face. I'm like, why are you washing your face? And she comes in here. She's basically put like lotion all over her face and it's Vaseline, and her face is all shiny, and now she's trying to wash it all off. I don't even want to know what the actual room looks like that this is happening in right
now. Sometimes Connor, like, he'll be in the shower and he'll take an extra like 15 minutes more. I'm like, what is he doing in the shower? I'll go to walk in and use it. All my shaving cream is all over the wall, over everything. I'm like, I need to use that to shave my head, right? Like, just everywhere. He's like doing like figurines and like making art with it. I'm like, no, I can't with this kid.
Yet I get blamed for using the shaving cream.
I can't even be mad because she's only doing what a 4-year-old would do when she's completely unsupervised, right? So anything I walk into is completely my fault, so I can't even be mad about
it. I don't feel you on that, Ajanaclair. I don't have a 4-year-old, so I just deal with 12-year-olds all day. So I think maybe worse. Maybe worse. I don't know. But that's like really funny. I'm just picturing all the shaving cream all. You know why though? It's because they do that at school. They use shaving cream to make art at school. That's like a school project.
Oh my
God. And I buy the extra big bottle too, so it's like this big, and he just has shaving cream for days. Like just it's like Spider-Man in there. I'm like, this is crazy.
You should just give it to him. I make cups of it for Zoelles and put food coloring in it and give her like a little paintbrush and let her go to town.
Wow.
Oh, she's changing now.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So what happens next on the episode is we had I like can't even think. What happens next?
We're after the Duncan scene. After they spelling his name, saying something nice about his name.
Yes. So after they each say a good thing about him using a letter of his name, they all decide, or he decides that he's no longer going to be a jokester. He thinks he's going to stay in myth, and everyone's all happy because he's staying, but in reality, he actually really does need to go. So he decides that he's only going to go for a day. he's just gonna go for one day to help them so that Monsters Inc. stays in business. But he also, and this is what like I felt was really looked over in this episode, was that they built a whole new laugh canister in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cutter completely like fabricated it and everything in a day. And I thought that was so insane, and it was completely looked over. And I realized that's what is it on the laugh floor.
It was a MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Do you know what a MacGuffin is?
No.
A MacGuffin is like an item in a movie where if they need to get to the next scene or to the next plot point, they have it in The Rise of Skywalker when Rey needs to find like the part of the ship. She has this sword, she has this little dagger, and then the dagger pulls out to be like a little map. It's a MacGuffin. It's like it advances the story. So pretty much without that MacGuffin, without that canister, it wouldn't have advanced the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought maybe that was going to be how they led into season 2. But
You learn something new every day.
You do. I do.
I watch too many
I
movies.
really was like, oh, this is going to be so interesting. We're going to like get to see how they build the laugh canister. And no, it was just like a thought.
Can we talk about the fact that Cutter gets no love, though?
Yes.
Nobody talks about her.
No
I
one ever
know.
talks about her. And I feel
She's
like
the one actually back there fixing everything.
I feel like Cutter is one of the best characters in Myth, but she is so overlooked and underappreciated.
Yeah.
Like she is the
I agree.
comic genius of
Yes.
Myth. Like
Yes.
she is always throwing the digs and throwing the like comedy lines, and I'm just like, Cutter.
And she's the one who delivers that subtle adult humor that, you know, like that Disney and Pixar like tries to sneak into their films because they're designed for children, but they always sneak in a little something for us adults to enjoy. And
Yeah.
she's the one who delivers that like adult comedy with all of
Yeah.
her like ex-husbands. And
I can't remember if I said this, but you know
her
that.
her sandwich partner.
Yeah.
There wasn't any adult humor in this episode. At least we didn't pick up on any.
I didn't pick up on anything either, but in like previous episodes, it's
Oh, yeah.
always been her. That
Yeah.
delivers
Episode
it.
8 there was like 3 things.
Yep.
Like she was gonna say you know, but like she pauses herself.
I can't remember if I
love
said
her.
this before. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Loren. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I can't remember if I said this before, but she's the voice of Mama Imelda in Coco. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that.
found out, like,
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Elena Albach.
I did not
Yeah,
know
I
that.
never. I
Interesting.
thought her voice was familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint it. And then I saw someone post something about it. I think it was like after episode 7, I found out, but I was shocked. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, because it totally doesn't sound like her. But then
That,
when
I
I
was just gonna say,
listened-
I'm like, how did you notice? Because it doesn't sound anything the same.
yeah, I just knew it. I was reading something somewhere. I can't remember, and it said she was voiced by Elena Albach, who I knew was Mama Imelda.
Are
And then
Tyler?
I think
I was
Go
gonna say,
ahead.
are Tyler and Val voiced by anybody famous or no? Are they in other Disney movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Val is Mindy Kaling, who was in The Office, and she was also the voice of Taffeta Mutton Fudge in Wreck-It
Is that
Ralph.
the Mindy Project?
yes, the Mindy Project.
Oh, I know who that is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
And she
Tyler?
actually voices 3 different characters on the show.
Oh.
Throughout the series. It's not just Val. She also voiced, I can't remember who, but it was like they were like
Yeah, I know
side
who that is.
characters. I think she voiced the daughter of
Briefly.
I can't think of her name.
The daughter of Mrs. Flint.
Yes, Mrs. Flint's daughter.
Oh,
and
I didn't
then
know that.
I think she voiced someone else. I think she voiced like one of the like a male character. But I forgot who it was because I was reading about it before the series came out, and they said that they used her quite a bit, and she's not like Val's her main character, but she used other characters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Tyler, but Fritz is Henry Winkler.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Look,
The
here we are.
fawn.
We're like pulling it up.
I didn't realize that Fritz was Harry Winkler. That's awesome.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
I don't
But
know
you
who
can
that
totally
is.
hear it. You can totally hear it.
Roz is voiced by a guy. Wow.
Yes!
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I knew that in the from the original. Yeah. And did you guys
Same with Edna Mode. Edna Mode is a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Brad
you know
Bird.
that? Because you're big and you love Edna Mode. Oh, you're not a fan anymore. But you didn't know that.
Did you guys notice that Rose was not in this episode because Roz was in the episode?
Mhm.
Did you catch that? Mike was like, "You're an imposter. You're an imposter."
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
He was like,
I
"You're the
like,
same person." He was like, just give it up already. You and Rose are the same person."
I wanted Rose to just come out and be like, "Wazowski, what are you doing?"
I'm always watching.
That's pretty good.
Yes, I do a pretty good Roz. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you did. That's good.
She's like one of my favorites next to Sully. But anyway, back to the episode because we're almost to the end. So at the end, we're almost to my heated part, the part where I got very, very upset at the monsters world. Okay, Nick. No.
I have to know what part you got upset about because after I went to watch the episode after you were like, "I'm so mad," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, let me go see." And I'm watching, I'm like, "What's she mad for?"
I know. That's what we were asking.
Everyone asked me that. They're like, "Why are you mad?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Okay, so let's just get to it. So basically, Tyler decides he's gonna go up. And he needs help because he doesn't have a door person, someone to run the door in case he gets stuck in there. So, of course, who was right in this prediction? But Jeff, of course, because he's always right. And he said that Val...
Don't tell her that.
And Val is now going to be his partner, at least for the day, so that they can hit 1 million or billion gigawatts, whatever it was. And they are able to hit 1 billion gigawatts. And of course, it is Mike that has to deliver the last, I think it was 78 gigawatts or something that they needed. But the canister got full and there was no other canisters that they had. So who saves the day but Cutter? Of course. And she doesn't even get that much recognition for it. Tyler takes the credit for it. That bothered me a little bit, but
but it was Tyler's design. She just fabricated it.
Yeah, but she also put it together in less than a day.
Why is no one
you can have an idea, but if you can't execute it, it's kind of okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. And then of course Mike delivers the last gigawatts and they make it. And I don't know if you guys thought this was hysterical, but I was laughing at Roz's face because she was just so stunned. And I don't think I've ever seen her so stunned in my life. But so this is where I got a little heated, is because in the next scene, Tyler thinks he's going back and he's not actually. He's going to be a jokester. That's been decided. Val's going to be his partner. Great. And in the next scene, we see it is literally the exact same scene from the end of the last movie. And I knew it. As soon as I saw the balloons, as soon as I saw Sully walk in, I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
With his tie.
It's happening. I literally started freaking out. I started crying because I thought it was going to happen. Everything started happening the right way. And
were you waiting for Boo to come out?
yes!
Wait, it was Boo's
But
door.
there was nothing about this episode that said Boo was coming.
No,
So what they
What
they did was
storyline for her.
they took the section of the last scene in Monsters Inc. and incorporated it in the show. So literally right after they hit the 1 million gigawatts is when Sully would eventually go through that door and meet Boo. So they kind of like they merged the show and the movie together in that scene.
They dangled the nugget, and then they were gonna give it to us, and then they just took it away, and they were like, "No, you don't get it because you don't get to see Boo ever."
If you want to see it, though, you just go watch Monsters Inc. because it's essentially
But you don't see Boo.
Yeah, you do when he opens up the door.
No, you hear Boo, you don't see Boo though.
You don't see her. You
How
never
many
see
times
her.
have you seen Monsters Inc? Really?
You
I
never
remember.
see
It's not my
her.
favorite movie. But I remember.
So basically, Ajanaclair, what they did was like they basically did the entire ending scene the exact same way, except they just added Tyler into it, like a little look. And right before Val and the Mifters come in, that is when Mike comes over to him and says, "Sully, I have something I want you to see." And that's when they do the whole door thing as Tyler goes through his very first door. I'm getting
Because
chills just thinking about it.
as the Mifters are driving by, Sully's flipping the pages to see Boo's chipped thing on the back of his clipboard. So as they're driving by, he's flipping the pages to see the thing, and then that's when Mike's going, "I'm on the cover of a magazine." Like it's tied. It's all taken from the first movie.
Yeah.
So now I gotta go watch the last 15 minutes of the first movie and the last 5 minutes of this movie again.
Somebody's gonna take it on YouTube and they're going to like have one clip on top, one clip on the bottom, and show how they do that.
Well, nobody's done that yet. So why don't you guys do that first?
There you go. There you go.
Don't give your idea away, Jeff.
Well, number one, I don't know how to do that. So if I did, I would. And number two, I like Monsters Inc. But like if it was like Star Wars, if it was like Star Wars or something, I would do it. But
you probably also get so many copyright claims for it.
Oh, for sure.
Well, no, I'd have to probably tone down the music or put in like my own music or something like that in order to,
Or not just be one of those videos you just take the L on.
Yeah.
Like my Disney on Ice video, I tried to put other music over it to not have it like be a copyrighted video, and I was like, you know what? This sucks. I was like, we're just gonna take the L, and I just won't ever get this particular video monetized. But it's gotta be out there.
Yeah.
All of our old intros used to be a married life.
I was just so angry because that's all I've wanted this whole season is just to see Boo, see what she looks like after all this time.
But how much time has actually passed?
So that's the other thing that I didn't like. So in the original movie,
it's
supposed to be 5 years later. In the original movie, it's supposed to be 5 years later. But in this, it's only like a few months later. It's not 5 years because the 1 million gigawatt thing just happened the day before. So the timeline is now a little fuzzy. So I think they more did it as like, if there is a season 2, I think Boo will definitely be involved in some sort of way. And if she's not, I'm really going to be mad. Really gonna be mad here. But I was literally crying. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. And then it didn't happen. And I was just like, what? And I was just so angry because I was like, this is the wrong purple monster walking through the wrong pink door. The door was pink. In case anyone else noticed that. But
the thing is, like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like any episode this season was set up for a Boo appearance. Like, not one episode was. There was just no room. Like, there was no room in the episode for her. So it would have just been really random to see her at the end of the season. Like, unless they were setting up season 2 for her to be a part of season 2.
Yeah, and they originally said that Boo wasn't going to be in the series. Like, we would not see her at all, which a lot of fans I know were very upset about because a lot of people did want to see Boo in it.
Oh, so y'all are like those girls who the guy tells you, like, I'm good, I'm not feeling you, and you like, oh, he's just confused. They told y'all she wasn't going to be in the series. What you upset for?
No, but
She's not going to be in the series. Oh, they're gonna put her in there. They're just telling us that. Like
Disney also said Zemo wasn't gonna be, that we weren't gonna see Zemo, and that we're not gonna see, like, they said a lot of things, and then they've gone back on it.
It's the Mephisto people out there. They're always like, Mephisto, he's gonna show up in WandaVision. Then he's gonna show up in Loki. Now supposedly he's showing up in No Way Home. Like, they just want him to come in. It's like, he's like a B-rated villain. I'm like, why do we need him in our movies? We don't need him.
Hey, I was one of those Mephisto followers.
Point.
I was the X-Men follower when they brought the guy that was in the X-Men movies in, and they totally butchered and ruined his character. I'd rather would have seen. I'm just saying.
Talking about monsters.
I'm just saying. I wanted to see X-Men brought into WandaVision. And when Wanda does the trick with her wrist and she points the guns at the people, that's just like Magneto.
Okay,
yeah, no.
Back to monsters.
Don't even get me started.
But yes, they basically, like, that is why I got so angry about it, because I was like, I wanted it to happen just so bad, and it didn't happen. And I crawled up into a ball and wanted to cry. Because that's all I wanted the whole season.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't get it.
Are you upset that Val and Tyler are not going to make monster babies?
You don't know they're not going to make monster babies. They're enhancing their friendship by still working together.
Ajanaclair's on your side, Brittany.
See, Ajanaclair agrees with me. They're going to make little monster babies.
They're totally making weird antler ear, long-legged monster babies.
Long-legged.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
season
A you with antlers.
Yeah, they're going to look like this. Ding, ding, ding.
I'm just getting donkey and dragon flashbacks right here with Tyler and Val. Them little donkey dragon babies were like super cute though.
Oh, Val and Tyler would make some cute babies.
So basically, the whole series ends after my little catastrophe moment. It then ends with them bringing Val to Tyler, and she's basically like, they're just checking up on Tyler, and Fritz is blubbering away because he's crying and he's sad because now not only did he lose Tyler, but he's now also lost Val, because Val is now joining Tyler as her as his like door controller person. I don't even know what they're called. I don't even know that they have a handler.
I think he called her his assistant.
It was assistant, but it was like it did have a specific title. There was a title.
Okay.
But but how in love were you with the letter? When Fritz gave him the letter, like if there was like a tear-worthy moment for me, that was it.
Yeah, that they took the letter from the first episode and they gave it back to him, and they're like you're now a jokester, like congratulations.
They crossed out there and wrote in jokester.
Yeah, Tyler did that in the first episode when he found out that scares were no longer a thing. But I would have liked it better if Fritz had crossed out Waterdeuce's name and wrote in his name. That's what I really wanted. I really wanted Fritz to like write his name in there and be like, I'm off, like we're offering you the position, and it would have been just so cute. So and then of course Tyler, I guess he's doing the donut thing. I guess that's gonna be like his prop now. I mean, I don't know, like donuts, like I don't know how long he's gonna have to do that for. I hope he can find like other comedy things. But basically, the final thing we see is Tyler walking through a pink door. I just want to make that very known. It was pink. A pink door, and he kind of closes the door, and that's the last we see of any of the monsters. So, what do you guys think is gonna, if there is, say there's going to be a season 2, where do we go from here? Because everything's kind of wrapped up in a nice little bow, except for Boo. So
she could be on the other side of that door and want to go see Kitty.
That's not her door, Ajanaclair. It's not her door. Her door has flowers.
She could have moved.
I would die if he got Boo. If he got Boo as his like human, I would. Oh, it would be so perfect.
But if it's 5 years later, is Boo even still in the range, the age range for a monster?
I have a feeling she was like 3 when it happened.
Yeah, so she
like,
would be a little
she would only
old
be
for a
8.
monster. Yeah, it's a little old for a monster though.
I mean,
Wait, how many years is it after?
It's supposed to be 5.
5 years?
In the monster world, at least. But we don't know how the like human world and the monster world line up timeline.
Yeah, and the timeline isn't the same because I feel like on one of the episodes, I can't remember who, but somebody said the human world timeline and the monster world timeline wasn't the same. But they didn't say how it wasn't the same.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. So that's why I don't think it's Tyler's door because like I said, like while this is going on, while Tyler walks through that door, Sully is walking through Boo's door to see her and that whole kitty thing. So I don't know. Like I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Where do we go from here? Like, where do you think if there was a season 2, what would it be?
Monster babies.
Monster babies. Oh my
there would have to be some kind of conflict, and the question is, what would be the conflict that would carry the season, right? Because in the movie, the conflict was this kid who wasn't supposed to be in the monster world somehow manages to get into the monster world. In Monsters University, the conflict was, Mike not, he was like the Revenge of the Nerd type character, right? Like he really just didn't belong the way he thought he did. And then in this series, this season of the series, you had, Tyler struggle to go from Scara to Jokester. So it's like, what's the conflict? What's the growth mode? What's the transition? Because I mean, I'm all for monster babies, but that would mean like a significant amount of time has had to pass, and for Tyler and Val to like be in a place where they're now, married, having babies.
So this is going to sound really far-fetched, but imagine if the humans find out that there is a monster world and they have to figure out how to coexist human world and monster world, or allowing the monsters to come in at night and make their kids laugh in order to power their world. It's not going to happen, but it's very far-fetched. But it would be, it would be an issue between the human world and the monster world of them learning to coexist with one another.
That sounds more like a movie level conflict, though. I don't know. Like, I mean, that sounds like a
Monsters Incorporated too.
That sounds like definitely a concept that could happen, but that sounds more like a movie type conflict than a series conflict. Like that's a really big conflict for this series to be in a TV show and not a movie.
Loren,
I don't think it's far fetched though. I mean, we've already had kids from the human world into the monster world, like, and with that last baby, I mean that where the door was broken, that episode, the parents were like always so close. Those were the worst parents ever, though. But
I remember that.
like, there's a lot happening in your kid's room, and you're not like trying to go and see about it. Okay.
His first words.
Your baby's first words was a paragraph. Okay.
We're gonna be rich.
So Loren, where do you think we're gonna go from here if there is a season 2?
Well, I was trying to think of what the conflict could be. The only thing I can think of is that, something happens that will take Tyler out of the jokester realm again and put him back into Mift. And, there'd be a whole new thing about him trying to get back into being a jokester. So that's what I would imagine, but I don't know how well that would be perceived because it would be pretty much a rehash of what was going on in the first season.
Do you guys think that they would keep the characters or they would make new ones?
I was also just. Go ahead, Loren.
No, I was just going to say that I would hope that they would keep the same characters because I like all the Mifters. Like I thought that they were really good, and I thought that when they didn't have Mike and Sully in, they still were able to carry the show. So I thought that was, so I would hate for them to replace people, just because I think all of them add a certain element to the show, from Fritz to Cutter to Duncan to Val. So yeah, I would hate it if they change them.
Here's something else they could do, and Morgan, you'll hate this idea. So since pretty much we ended this season with tying up Sully and Mike's story, so you do Monsters at Work season 2 without them. They're not in it no more. You do a time jump. You'll get your monster babies with Val and Tyler. But Val
Tyler
and Tyler
running Monsters Inc.
But Val and Tyler, they have to bring in a new generation of jokesters, and then you could bring in new characters, and then Tyler and Val are like train them up because Tyler's like the head jokester now, and they have to train a new generation of jokesters, and then you can bring in all new characters.
Can I piggyback on that really quick?
Sure.
So I wouldn't say about getting rid of Sully and Mike, but I was gonna say how they had like the monster babies come for the day and they lost them and everything. What if what's her name with the bat wings? With the daughter that was not nice. I don't know her name. The president, whatever her name was. The one that said Tyler wasn't good enough to be a jokester. Yeah. So another conflict would be that the daughter now says that she wants to be a jokester and she wants him to train her. And the mom does everything to make the daughter happy and pulls him out of the out of the doors and has to train all the babies.
That could be a good one.
Yeah.
I just don't.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
I would be crushed if they completely got rid of Sully and Mike. I would absolutely be
I was kind of with Jeff on that one. Like I think that the only next level is a complete time jump, but where there's like kind of this combination where Tyler is now like in the leadership position over at Monsters Inc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, but I just don't. I think too many people would like. I love the series, but I still think they would need a second season before they could like completely get rid of Mike and Sully, because I think they're too known of characters to just be like, okay, they're done. Like if they like finish the story with Boo, because I feel like it's still open. It's still like he goes through that door. What happens? This is like what drives me crazy. What happens after he goes through that door and sees Boo? Like that's what I need to know. And I feel like unless they're gonna do like a movie or something where they explore what happens, and then maybe the season 2 would be the time jump. I don't know that they could. And with Tyler now being out of Myth, I get the feeling that Fritz, Cutter, and Duncan will not be back in a second season. If he doesn't go back to Myth, I don't think that they would continue those 3 characters. Val clearly they would, but I don't think out of those other 3 they would continue them. Maybe on guest spots here and there.
I would say guest spots, and they could even throw in, because you know how sometimes they have like side quests in this season.
Yeah,
they could be like a side quest episode where they have to go back to Myth to do something. That way they can elaborate and get those characters involved for like an episode or 2, and then I don't think they'll completely lose them, but they won't be like the center of attention like they were in this season.
Yeah,
and they have to make more canisters.
Yeah, that's true. It just makes me wonder. I feel like we're definitely going to get new characters if there is a second season, and they're going to be jokesters like Tyler. Like, they might pull in that Benitez character, the like yellow one. They might pull her in. They might pull the one guy that Tyler talked to that was like, I'm in my element, get away from me. Like, they might pull him in. It would be interesting if they brought back Randall. I would love to see that and how that goes. But yeah, I just don't like I do think everything's kind of tied up very nicely, especially with Sully, which makes me very upset. Because that's the only thing that's hanging him onto the series is Boo, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know where they're gonna go. I really hope there's a season 2, and I know you guys feel the same way. So yeah,
I would say one complaint I did have about the episode, instead of Mike at the end saving the day, it should have been Tyler. Yeah, Tyler.
I completely agree.
It should have been Tyler
It
because
been
it was
Tyler.
his story. He should have been the one
Yeah.
to go through that door and pretty much, save, get them their gigawatts. That's my only complaint.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I just feel like that would have been too obvious, though.
But the other thing is if they are wrapping the storyline up, they're wrapping Mike's storyline up of him being the jokester as well.
Don't tell Morgan that.
If they're wrapping it up, I'm just saying, like, you had the nice moment with Sully,
Yeah.
so you're wrapping it up with Mike finishing out his
Going out on top.
going out in
on
style, like, going out on the last, like, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think if there is a season 2, we'll see much less of Mike and Sully than we did see in this one. I think we would see them in the beginning episode and maybe the end of the next series or next season, and that would probably be the last we ever saw of them, which does break my heart, sadly. But I mean, I think if Sully retired, then I would be very happy with that, like just seeing him retired. But I'm also very upset that we never actually got to see Tyler in an actual room, because like we saw him go into the rooms and like fail a bunch of times. It would have been nice to see him like succeed for once. Like, what happens in that room?
They show him
They
briefly
show
with the
him
donuts
with
going
donuts on his
like
head.
in and on his ears and then hitting him
Yeah.
in the face. You don't see the kid's reaction, I don't think.
You
but
hear him laugh.
Yeah.
And you see the canister getting full. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just want him to have like, I don't know. I wanted more of seeing him make the kids laugh, just to like confirm, okay, you can do this, because I don't know. His donut trick didn't like make me laugh at all. So I don't know.
I didn't find that funny.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But I think that's all they got.
Yeah. Like, God forbid they stop making donuts. I think.
Yeah, without those crispy screams, he'd be out of a job.
Oh, there we go. Was the one.
No, that was the reference. I'm saying the adult stuff, but the reference in this that I picked up on was crispy screams.
I didn't see that one, but I was wondering who made the donuts. I was looking to see if it was like a Dunkin'. Oh, but they did say Dunkin' Donuts in like previous episode. Yeah. So
It was like
I
Fox
don't.
Food, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was like the David episode or something like that. But yeah. So I want to thank you guys so much for coming on to my live tonight. You guys were amazing. I'm gonna let you guys each tell the audience what you have coming up on your channel and where they can find you. You guys can go ahead and go first.
So we are Our Paradise Falls. It's myself, it's Brittany, and our son Connor. We're a South Florida family of 3, and we vlog our Disney adventures. We vlog our travel adventures. We vlog our character warehouse. We vlog Funko Pops. Brittany vlogs her Loungefly adventures. Pretty much everything Disney related, travel related, adventure related. You can find us on YouTube at Our Paradise Falls, Instagram our.paradise.falls, on Facebook Our Paradise Falls. And what we have coming up tomorrow, we're actually going to go down to our character warehouse and do a September update, see what they have down there. We have our Tampa Bay Aquarium vlog coming up. We still have Caribbean Beach, and we have the South Florida Science Museum. Me and Connor went there, so we vlogged that. And in 14 days, we'll be at Disney World for Connor's 8th birthday, and we have beach club stuff coming up. We're going to be doing probably a vlog at each park day that we're going to, and we're going to Boo Bash, but Connor still doesn't know. So, but we'll be vlogging that.
Nice.
Awesome. And thank you guys so much again for coming on. You guys were awesome. Their links are down below in the description. Loren, my tried and true buddy that's been on this journey with me. What do you got coming up?
This has been so fun, Morgan. But we're Castles, Capes, and Clones. We are on YouTube, and we do a lot of unboxings, hauls. I like to show off my pins, do Disney news, Disney reviews. I've got a lot of unboxings coming up. If you haven't had a chance, my cousin and our friend Tom went to go see Shang-Chi last night and gave their first non-spoiler reaction. And I would say that if you are hesitant about the movie after seeing that their video, you will be less hesitant. I just watched it myself today, and it was great. So we're going to be doing a deep dive into the movie soon.
Of course, it is great, Loren. It's Marvel. Awesome. Thank you so much, Loren. I've loved having you.
Yes, me too.
Ajanaclair, my girl, she's literally been trying to get on my show for so many episodes. And she finally was able to get on one. So, Ajanaclair, what do you have coming up on both being Ajanaclair and Zoelles World?
So on Zoelles World, I'm still editing Disney vlogs and putting them up as I get them edited. And these are all like pre-pandemic Disney vlogs. So you get a little taste, a little trip down memory lane with these vlogs. I also have a swap coming up on Labor Day for Rolling to Orlando's 40th birthday swap. And I actually have a super fun swap coming up with Miss Sassy Pants, and it is a one-on-one swap, but we did a no budget, no holds barred swap between the two of us. And so that is going to be crazy. So stay tuned for that. And then on being Ajanaclair, I'm still doing my Loungefly Small Shop series. So I'm releasing those videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. And I have a couple of cocktail collabs coming up. So just be on the lookout. And here's my co-host for Zoelles World.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And guys, if you aren't subscribed to my channel, I really encourage you guys to subscribe. I am only 21 subscribers away from hitting 400. As you guys know, when I hit big milestones like that, I do a giveaway. So I will have a giveaway coming up soon. But if you stay tuned this long, you know I had an announcement. I've been teasing it for a while. And so here it is. In the description below, you will find my very own Facebook personal shopping group. My sister and I have started our very own personal shopping business for the Disney parks and the surrounding areas. We'll all eventually be going to Universal. I don't know if she'll do that, but I will definitely eventually be going to Universal and things like that as well to be picking up merchandise. I have a few of Ajanaclair's purchases already here, getting ready to ship out. We've done a lot of pickups already, so I'm super excited about that. If you would like to join the personal shopping group, it's in the description below. Please, everyone's welcome. The rules and everything of how the shopping works and all the services we provide are listed there, but you can get some really awesome things like exclusive Loungefly bags and things like the new Wishable series. So we went to the parks and picked up a few of those for some people that requested them. And we do a bunch of other things as well, gift baskets, things like that. So I really encourage you guys to check it out and support us. And I have some things coming up. I have a pin unboxing of the Hocus Pocus pins. And I have my Boo Bash video that's coming out and a few other little things here and there. I'm still waiting on my stuff, so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully I get everything soon. And as soon as we hit 400, I have a really, really exciting giveaway that I can't wait to announce. So definitely hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for going on this monsters journey with me. And I hope you weren't too scared during the process. But as always, I'm going to bring the rest of my friends up. Have a magical day, and we'll see you.
Bye, everybody.
Next one.
Have a great holiday weekend.